Now, before we start, you might want to check out our other podcasts covering topics like personal development and minimalism, money, health, relationships, and more. So to optimize your life in other areas, just search for Optimal Living Daily in your podcast app. Now, on to the show.
This is Optimal Relationships Daily, episode 2171. Do you want to have your cake and eat it too? By Evan Marc Katz of evanmarckatz.com. Hello, everybody, and welcome to ORD with me, your host and narrator, Greg Audino. Great to have you here once again, and this time I'll be sharing a post from Evan Marc Katz. He's a dating coach who we've been reading from since the beginning, pretty much, even before I was hosting the show, which is years ago now. This article covers the crossroads some people find themselves at when they want to be committed, but also play the field a little bit. So let's hear Evan's words of wisdom as we optimize your life. Do you want to have your cake and eat it too? By Evan Marc Katz of evanmarckatz.com. This week, I was on the phone with a client who came to me 8 weeks ago with no dating prospects whatsoever. But armed with a new perspective on dating, online dating, and understanding men, not to mention a new online ad campaign, this woman found herself in a new position, the object of desire to a thoughtful, considerate man. Tara, age 39, went out with Ted 3 times. Each time, he called her in advance, made the plans, paid for her, followed up the day after, and let her know that she was a priority in his love life. Without being over-the-top smothering, Ted made it clear that he wanted to be her boyfriend. Yet, even though Tara invested a lot of money with me to ostensibly find herself a boyfriend, suddenly, when confronted with the prospect of focusing on one man, she found herself pulling away emotionally. Even though he's a great guy, cute, smart, successful, and kind, even though he's done everything right, even though she wants to be married one day, and this man is on board, Tara just couldn't help but feel that she needed more time being single. More time than 39 years, I asked. It's more that I'm not sure I'm ready to commit to him, she continued. So what I'd like to do is continue to date Ted casually for the next couple of months, put my profile up on Match.com, and see what happens from there. He is a good guy, and I don't want to throw things away. I just want to explore my other options right now. Tara's proclamation sounds eerily like the thoughts of a man who played with your heart in the past. Like your heartbreaker, she came on strong, she made a real connection, and now she's silently backing away. Sort of. Because Tara, like your heartbreaker, doesn't want to actually break up. She just wants to keep her distance and downgrade Ted from future boyfriend to one of 3 men I'm seeing right now. Which means that, whether Tara likes it or not, Ted's going to be on pins and needles, wondering where the spark and momentum went. He's going to be wondering what happened, what he did wrong, and how he can turn things around again. Essentially, Tara wants to have her cake and eat it too. Not because she's evil and malicious and doesn't care about men, but because continuing to date Ted casually while exploring her other options maximizes her selfish desires. So she gets to keep the door open for Ted, experiment with some exciting, unpredictable men on Match, and make her decision down the road. Except that's never how it goes. You know that. Because you've been in Ted's position more than you'd care to admit, and you know that the guy who is casually seeing you once a week for 3 months never becomes your husband. How do you know this? Because if he wanted to be your boyfriend, he'd have tried harder from the very beginning. His very indifference and ambivalence to you, shopping around for other women while keeping you in the loop, tells the entire story. I don't have to stick around to see the end. Neither should Ted, and neither should you. Your takeaway from this blog post should be twofold. First, realize that men and women are no different. And although it's easy to berate men for being selfish, for using you, for not telling you their true intentions, the real truth is, this isn't a man thing. It's a people thing. I just told you Tara's story, but I literally have 3 clients right now going through the exact same thing. 3 women with no prospects 8 weeks ago. Now all three are putting off having a boyfriend because they want time to date and explore and maximize. I would probably quibble that they should consider the devoted guy instead of looking for a more exciting, unpredictable player on the internet, but that's neither here nor there. All you need to know is that you have two choices. Act with integrity and let your man go find a woman who's into him, or give up on any sense of moral high ground that you might maintain when complaining about non-committal men. You can't have it both ways. The second takeaway I'd like you to have is to internalize the idea that the guy who is keeping you at bay for more than 6 to 8 weeks is probably never going to step up to the plate to be your boyfriend. So dump him now and go out and find yourself a man who is excited about you. Every second you're with the wrong guy is a second you're not looking for the right guy. You just listened to the post titled, "Do You Want to Have Your Cake and Eat It Too?" by Evan Marc Katz of evanmarccatz.com, and I'll be right back with my commentary. Okay, and thanks to Evan for this one. It's definitely a grounding post that I hope encourages anyone in a situation similar to Tara to do some self-questioning. But I also hope that that self-questioning can come without self-shaming. There's a part of this article I wasn't super fond of when Evan kind of insinuated that this type of behavior is selfish, meant to lead people on, and covering of one's true intentions. And I don't think that has to be the case. If you've been single for a while and have perhaps come upon newfound confidence with a few people interested in you all at once, it's natural to find relief in this and want to explore and just sort of bask in that feeling. This is understandable. But what of the action that accompanies it? We all have different ideas of what we owe or don't owe to dating prospects. But if you do want to honor your desire to play the field a little bit while still not consider yourself to be selfish or deceptive, remember that you can always talk to your dating prospects about these feelings. Share your journey, share your desires, and see how they feel about them. In many cases, they may be understanding, allowing you two to connect better. And in other cases, they won't, and you two might amicably decide to discontinue seeing one another. The more you share your intentions with the people you meet and scout their reactions and, sort of get a sense of the types of people you're attracting and repelling, the more likely you are to become more decisive in what you're looking for. But that's going to bring us to the end for today, folks. I thank you as always for coming and making this episode possible. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the Wednesday show tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.